because so many bands, so many shows, just everyday life, they come from the British, and they'll continue to do that as well. Very influenced by British culture over here. Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to and learning from top 10 things Brits are bloody good at. They're fantastic at many things, so I'm curious to see what this list breaks down and puts in this kind of top list. I mean, there's countless things that I could think of that could possibly be on this list, so let's jump in and let's see what this is all about. Do you agree, disagree, absolutely agree, bloody agree? Let's do this thing.
Is there anything we can't do? Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things the Brits are bloody good at.
Would you like a cup of tea, mate? Thanks, Mickey. Love one.
Sometimes it's a well-established fact that the British are bleeding brilliant at something, while some of our other talents are vastly underappreciated. For this list, we're ditching our stereotypical modesty for just a few short minutes to take a look at our strongest specialties. Number 10. Theatre. Forget Broadway, London's West End is the true pinnacle for stage performers. Not that we're in competition with New York or anything, but if we were, we'd totally win.
Phantom of the Opera is creepy yet good. Love the music. I've seen that live. A lot of fun.
Boasting mainstay productions of shows like the most watched musical in the world, The Phantom of the Opera, plus The Wizard of Oz retelling Wicked, and even the Michael Jackson musical Thriller, Les Mis has run continuously since 1985, plus Harry Potter and the Cursed Child ran for almost 2 years before NYC even got a look in. There's basically something for everyone under the bright lights of London's theatre scene. Number 9. Playing Hollywood bad guys. For whatever reason, Hollywood seems to typecast us Brits as the villains. And that's probably because we're pretty darn great at it.
Oh, yes. What was it you said to me before? Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Whether it's the legendary performance of Alan Rickman playing foil to Bruce Willis in Die Hard, or Gary Oldman's villainous turn in Bram Stoker's Dracula, or The Fifth Element, or Air Force One, or, well, you get the point.
Next time, I'll choose someone more important.
Clearly no one nails an ominous, threatening, or iconic antagonist better than the raft of gargantuan actors hailing from these shores.
Yeah.
Therefore, since I cannot prove a lover, I'm determined to prove a villain.
Number 8.
That seems very true. I would guess the majority of villains either come from the US, so they're either Americans, British, or Russian. I feel like they're almost always one of those three. I have noticed that.
Educational institutes. Yes, Harvard and Yale are pretty impressive, but they pale in comparison to our own prestigious universities, Oxford and Cambridge. Fostering future prime ministers, presidents, leading academics, scientists, actors, actresses, and business tycoons, amongst an endless list of notable graduates, the legacies of these institutions are second to none. Not to mention that Oxford is the oldest English-speaking university there is.
That's incredible looking. Look at that architecture. I love these old schools. I would very much like to go and travel there. I would like to see these universities and walk the campus. I love how they look.
And second oldest in continuous operation in the world. Many of the all-time great minds have been shaped in Britain. Number 7. Unique slang. You best know about our unique slang, fam. If not, you must be off your nut, fella. Either way, we'll leave it there, pet.
In the bottom of St. Regis tea kettle, yes. And then she shat on a turtle.
From the Cockney rhyming slang popularised during World War II to the globally influenced hybrid street slang of London, heard in films like Kiddlehood, there's no shortage of superb slang spoken in Britain.
Look, why aren't you speaking to me? You won't chat to me in like 3 weeks?
I know I've been doing big things, innit?
There's also the lingo that's specific to the north, plus a barrage of brilliant terms from the West Country and Wales, north of the border dialect in Scotland, and countryside colloquialisms from East Anglia. By gum.
Oh, is that right?
Number 6. Music festivals. Glastonbury alone is probably enough to validate this entry, but throw in Reading and Leeds, Isle of Wight and Download festivals to name but a few, and it's almost overkill. anyone who's anyone in almost any genre of music has played or wants to play at one, if not all, of these iconic venues at some point in their careers. The usually lousy British weather just adds to the experience, as festival goers wear their coatings of mud like badges of honour.
I may be old and inappropriately dressed, but at least I look amazing.
And music aside, you can't beat a few drinks and a good old-fashioned sing-along around the campsites.
People fall in love in mysterious ways.
Number 5.
I agree. Brits are bloody good at that. And incredibly good at rock bands and just musicians in general. I just reacted to a video of top 10 British bands that cracked the US, I think the title was, of, had a huge splash over here. Big influence to artists here. And I loved that video. That goes along the same lines as here. So on top of festivals, the British musicians are incredible.
5. Inventing sports. Football, tennis, rugby, cricket, table tennis, golf, ice hockey, and even baseball are all sports that originated in the UK. You're welcome, rest of the world. We haven't done too badly at most of them either, especially tennis, rugby, and boxing in recent years. But globally, football is the most popular sport of all.
It's coming, football's coming home.
And though England hasn't won a World Cup since way back in 1966, much to everyone's continued misery, the English Premier League is still the most watched league in the world, with players from all countries queuing up to play in it. Number 4. History. Britain's a pretty small island, but it's steeped in more recorded history than almost anywhere else, and has long been a top tourist destination for eager culture vultures. True, the widespread rule of the British Empire isn't always remembered with great fondness, but the UK has historically proven an important and positive influence in Europe and the Commonwealth. And few countries can match Britain for impressive castles.
This is exactly why I wanted to travel to London when we were there, which does not happen to everywhere that we travel to. Roughly planning our next time that we were going to visit. Unfortunately, COVID happened, so we didn't go during that time, but that was kind of like the time frame that we were looking at to go back. But the history there, such a rich, deep history. Wherever you look, wherever you go, it's incredible. For example, Tower of London, we spent an entire day there and I could have gone back. I could have just sat in the courtyard, looked at the crown jewels again, roamed through the White Tower another couple times. And this is just one place. And not to mention the museums, some of the world's best museums. It's not to love.
Important battle sites, stately homes, national parks, or inspired architecture. There's just really, really old stuff everywhere you look. Number 3. Comedy. No one, and we mean no one, does sarcasm or self-deprecating humour quite like the British. Along with our thriving economy, stable political leadership, and predictable weather, it's what we do best.
Please!
There's
This is
some comedy.
supposed to be a happy occasion. Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
Throw a few inventive, sodding swear words into the mix, and you're onto a winner. And then there's the steady flow of standout films and sitcoms, from Monty Python to Mr. Bean to Peep Show.
What's so funny? It's only a fridge magnet.
I know, but it looks just like a fried egg.
As well as the long list of British comedies that America has tried to remake before failing miserably. You just can't beat the originals, can you?
I would say one of the most popular shows ever in the US. And it's still watched by the newer generations as well. Gen Z, I think, at least we call it here in the US. But they love it. I love it. My generation loves it. A lot comes from, this is definitely true. Bloody good at it.
Number 2. Writing influential books. It's British authors behind the lion's share of the best-selling books of all time, with Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities and J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings toward the top of that list.
To the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
And J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books are also the best-selling series of all time.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
I swear I don't know!
But more than the massive numbers, British writers have always been influential in shaping literary styles and genres. From the gothic glory of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to the gritty realism of Irvine Welsh's Trainspotting, when the Brits write, the whole world reads.
So, we all get old, we can't hack it anymore, and that's it. Yeah.
Number 1. Producing influential music. The The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Queen, Bowie, Oasis, Radiohead. We could dedicate an entire list to the influential British bands and musicians, and in fact, already have. And it's not just the rock and pop genres we've revolutionised either. The grime scene is another homegrown phenomena with the likes of Stormzy leading the charge.
How dare you twist up the truth, look, you're getting way too big for your boots.
Pick any era from the past century and the UK could provide a soundtrack to it. And a bloody good one at that.
Don't let me down.
Do you agree with our picks?
Music is such a fascinating one. It's such a big one, but all of those are so true. It shows how much influence Britain still has on the world, because so many bands, so many shows, just everyday life, they come from the British, and they'll continue to do that as well. Very influenced by British culture over here, from their books to their shows to their music, and so many more things. Like, this is a tiny list. They could this list could go on for days and days and days. So let me know what you think about it. What else are the British extremely good at? How do they influence the world? I mean, their financial sector is phenomenal as well. Let me know, and thanks for watching. Until next time, have a good rest of your day.